Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is going to be a Heritage unboxing, and it's a pretty great one, actually. This is this is going to be a really good one because this is something that I've never actually had before in my collection. Not just the comic, but something I never had in terms of like having a pedigree. Like I do have some pedigree comics in my collection, but this one is a very special pedigree, and it's the first one where it's in a slab where it is you know it's actually got that gold label, that really cool gold label with the pedigree. So I'm pretty excited about it. Actually, I'm really excited about it. But before I do that, before I show that, I'm gonna just do a quick unboxing of like of a comic that I got. This is from Warrant, and Warrant is it's a company that kind of tried to bring back Warren Publishing, the magazine side of it, and that's why Warrant instead of Warren. It's a bit of a play on words. Um, and they're very bad at shipping, actually. That'd be my only complaint about them. They write "do not bend," and like you see the package, it's just like an envelope, and literally the magazine is just put inside. There's no board, there's nothing to protect the comic, there's not even like the magazine holder. Like there's nothing protecting this comic, and of course it's going to get mangled. So yeah, so here's my very mangled, maybe it could be pressed. I don't know. It's just like so mangled. Vampirus Carmella number 7. It's a shame because it'd be really nice if I got this without it being, look, as you can see, it's all bent and it's just totally mangled. I just wish they would send it properly, like with like proper boarding and stuff. But it is a cool magazine. It kind of brings back a lot of the classic Warren style artwork and style of comics with modern artists. So it is kind of cool, and it kind of has sort of like a bit of a Vampirella flavor to it. Um, and they actually had some pretty great artists that were artists from the Warren era. You got Archie Goldwing, a good Godwing, and you have Richard Corbin did one of the covers for it. So there's been some pretty cool people involved with this magazine. I just wish they would ship it better. I'll probably have to buy it again and just buy like a flat a flat version of it. It's a shame. I just hate to see it get mangled like that. But I got a subscription to them. Oh, how long ago? I think it was 2 years ago, and I'm just finally getting the last magazine from that subscription. So that was the last one. And every time it's mangled. It is what it is. Okay, so that's my tragedy, I guess. But now I'll get into the Heritage one. And the Heritage one is actually multiple auctions that I won. It was actually over a period of 2 months that I won these auctions. So there's one package. And then there's another package. Okay, so it should be 4 auction wins. Yep, okay, that's everything. So I'm going to open whatever this one is first, and we'll see what's inside. And they're all great books. This is a pretty awesome unboxing, actually. In terms of the caliber of stuff inside here, I think you'll be impressed. So I won some pretty cool things. So, okay, so actually we're getting right into that Promise Collection one, because I can see it. And I kind of revealed which pedigree it is. It is the Promise Collection. And I will show it. Now, this is a bit of a controversial comic, but it is one that I'm happy to have in my collection. Back here. There's actually several books in here. Okay, so I'm going to show the Promise Collection one first. It's this one. I'm going to take it out of the bag so you can properly see it. This is actually a really famous comic, not just for the fact that it's a Promise collection. So, Promise collection, for those who do not know, um, was this collection of comics that was gathered by a young a young guy who went off to war. It was and he had this massive collection, and they were all sort of that early 50s and late 40s and early 40s. Like he just sort of collected all through there, and they're all in high grade. And what happened was he went to war with his brother, and then he got his brother to promise, and that's the name of the Promise collection, to protect the books if he died in war. And this is during the Korean War, so 1950 era. And basically, what happened was he died. His brother kept the promise, and then when the brother died, the comic collection came to auction. And when they graded it, this is actually considered a lower grade in the collection. Most of them are really high grade. The brother did a very good job of keeping the comics for many, many years. I mean, like we're talking like 70 years. He kept the comics and he kept them in pristine condition. So this is a very high grade actually for the Golden Age, a 7.5, off white to white pages. Now, what's really important about this comic is that it features the very first black superhero in comics. It is Vuda. And Vuda is inside. This is not Vuda on the cover, but this is Matt Baker art. Matt Baker is a black artist, a black American, or whatever you want to say, but he's just probably one of the greatest artists of the Golden Age. One that I really like. And he actually created this Vuda character. And Vuda is a kind of a guy who he basically he's an African who basically he acts like a hero. He's not a superhero. He doesn't have powers or anything, but he basically is the main character, and he goes about saving his tribe from other things like evil tribes or whatever. So it's actually kind of interesting. And the other thing about Vuda is really interesting. So even at that time, putting a black character on the cover was kind of a bit taboo. They didn't really want to put a black hero on the cover. So generally when they put Vuda on the cover of Crown Comics in later issues, he would always be shown as being white. It was kind of weird. Inside he would be black. On the cover he'd be white. So it's kind of one of those interesting things about him. So to me, this is actually a very important comic for that Black American history. And I actually think it's a really cool comic. Very, probably like people get put off by the cover. The cover looks a little bit racist. It's got little white boy chasing after this kind of freaky looking black man. Now, don't be too dissuaded by that, because this is like an evil shaman, and that he's supposed to look kind of evil. So it wasn't that they're trying to say, oh, all black people look like this. It's not. That's not what they were trying to say here. It's an evil shaman who's meant to look evil. Okay, and you got the little doggy even attacking him. So just a really great comic, very rare and major like comic for I think in terms of comic history, and it's just really great to have it and have it as a pedigree. Like it's just cool that it's a pedigree as well. So I really like this. This is like a really great one to add to my collection. And yeah, it even says, you can see it says right there, the Promise collection. I'm not sure if you can see that well. And this is from 1945. So really happy to have that. It's just a really great comic. Okay, so that's the first one. The next one that I got was this one. I thought this was a really great cover. And this is All-Star Comics number 41. And there's not much significance about this comic. It's a cool cover. You know, it's got all the Justice League basically, and it's the one where Black Canary. You can see her right there. Most people don't realize, but she was a Golden Age character. She's been around a long time. Um, she made her entrance into the JSA, so the Justice Association of America, in this comic. So this is where she joins the JSA. So just a I like the cover. I just like the fact that, you know, it shows like each of these like national monuments was stolen by different villains, and I kind of think that's really cool. So I just really like this. I'm actually trying to get a run of All Star Comics. It's not a very realistic thing because they're generally pretty pricey books, but I am working on it. So I've gotten a few of the key issues from All Star Comics, and I really like the series. So um, that's that one. Next is another major grail. This is actually a pretty major one. Um, and this is Fantastic Four #6. And I'm really happy to get this in my collection, actually. Um, so this is the very first Marvel bad guy team up. Okay, so we got Doctor Doom and the Submariner. They're both bad guys in this. And they team up against the Fantastic Four. And it's really kind of an interesting story because the very first appearance of Doctor Doom, he didn't have powers. He was more of a scientist, and he had this time machine, right? And what he was trying to do was get these powerful gems that would basically give him the powers that he wanted to have. Um, and the Fantastic Four realized that he was going to get these powerful magical gems, and they decided to throw them into the bottom of the ocean. So it was kind of interesting story. Like yeah, it was an interesting time travel-y kind of story. And so they throw these gems at the bottom of the ocean. Well, this book, you got the Submariner, and Submariner is the master of the oceans, basically, and he basically gets the gems to give to Doctor Doom. So he gets his powers. So this is really where Doctor Doom gets those powers that we kind of associate with Doctor Doom. So just a really great one. So first, I'll read the notes. First Marvel villain team up, second appearance of Doctor Doom, and the Silver Age Submariner. So it's the second appearance of both of these characters. Just really great on multiple levels. And it's the Stan Lee story, Jack Kirby and Dick Ayers cover and art. And it's off-white to white pages. The one reason why this is a 2.0, why it's kind of been graded a little bit low, is the cover's detached. So it actually presents very, very well. It actually presents much, much higher. I would say like presents like a 4 even. Really just a clean copy. But as I said, it's all related to the spine. So the spine is where the weakness is, and in a slab you can't see that. So this is the kind of way I love to buy a comic. You get it's a low grade, but it looks like a high grade, and I love that. And it has a really nice little date stamp. Some people really into those date stamps. Well, it has a nice one. So just a really great comic. I was really excited to get this one in my collection too. So these are all, as I said, this is a pretty great great haul. It's just like a lot of like these key comics that I was pretty excited to get. Okay, so there's one more bag of comics here, or lot of comics. I'm not sure how to get this out. Keep on cutting it until something happens. Okay. And this is, so those were pretty awesome. This is the next level of awesomeness. These are both really great books. I'm so excited about these ones too. These are pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So this first one, so one of the things with me is I'm a child of the 90s in terms of my real collecting time. Like when I went to university, I just really went full on into comic collecting. And I went into that whole 90s boom of like bad girls, and like, that's back in the time when it's Razor and Cry for Dawn and Vampirella and all those kind of bad girls. Um, Now that I'm a little bit older, I really got into the classic era, the golden age, great characters, and that's like Lady Luck, you know, Phantom Lady, Rula, and all these kind of golden age female characters. I really love female characters from the golden age, and I love to get their first appearances. That's my big desire. Like when I'm collecting, I love to get that first appearance of some kind of key character. And that's what this is. That's what this is, kind of that really awesome first appearance of a major character. And it's a double coolness because it's the first appearance on the cover, really hard in the golden age. And it's also it's a signature copy. It's signed by Mum. So you know that it's good. It's Mum approved. Um, so this is All Select Comics number 11, and it's the first appearance of Blonde Phantom. So, and it even says it right across the top. It's just such a great comic. So the Blonde Phantom, and I think it's a really great cover. Personally, I just really like this cover. Um, and this is from the fall of 1946. And I'll show you the back as well. It's got a nice little. So bombs away. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, just a really great cover. You know, um, it's, what does it say? First appearance of Blonde Phantom and Louise Grant, Mark Wasson or Mason. Sorry, I can't read. I'm getting to that point where I need special glasses. Um, and then it also has a Miss America story in it. That's the other weird, cool thing about this comic. Now, the funny thing is, this is a Stan Lee story, so that's another cool element to this. Um, and we got Sid Shore's cover. So this is Sid Shore cover art. So just a really great comic, like this first appearance of a major character from the Golden Age. And this is a character that they've recently brought back into comics. So I really like having these Golden Age first appearances of female characters. I like the female characters. It's a thing I collect. I got into good girl art and all this kind of female characters. Now another really great character, and it was one that wasn't actually appreciated in the Golden Age. So Blonde Phantom did well. She was like, she kind of had like a pretty long run of comics. This character, not so much. This is Moon Girl and the Prince, number 1. And this is the first appearance of Moon Girl. And Moon Girl is kind of like one of these like C or D D level female characters from the Golden Age. She basically, they kept on changing the names to try to like get that audience. So it went from Moon Girl and the Prince to Moon Girl, and then it went to Romance or something like that. Like it was some romance title. Like but it had like some pretty great artists associated with it. It just didn't stick. It didn't. I think there's maybe total of 11 issues or 10 issues with Moon Girl. It's not that many. Maybe even less. It just didn't strike a chord with audiences. But it is a cool one. It is an EC comic. It's from 1947, and it's just a really great. I really like it. It's in a reasonable grade. It's a 4.5. It's an older case, so it might be one of those cases opportunities. Like if you look at it, there's a lot of like sort of dings along the spine. And it looks like one of those opportunities, like if I cracked it open and like pressed it out, I can't press things, but if I got somebody to press it out, it could probably get a higher grade, like maybe a 5.5, I would say. It's very solid. It looks like it needs to be cleaned and pressed. So there's a little bit of debris there at the back. There is a tear. One sec here. I'm going to show that. There's a little tear on the back. But other than that, it looks like it could get a pretty high grade. As I said, like maybe a 5 or 5.5 would be my guess if it was cleaned and pressed. So, that's pretty significant when you were talking golden age books. So it's like really kind of cool. Uh, very first appearance of Moon Girl. As I said, I love these golden age female first appearances. So yeah, and I can show you the back. It's all wallets. So yeah, so that's the haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I was pretty excited. These are all really great books. Like, I'm super excited to have a pedigree in my collection. I love the idea of the historical characters, like first Black hero. I think that's just so cool. Um, and from a major artist that created it, like Matt Baker, is just amazing. And then to get all these first female first appearances, it's just really exciting to me. So I'm quite happy about this collection. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And check out my other videos. I do some pretty major unboxings. And a lot of the stuff that I show is pretty obscure. Like, not many people know about these comics. It's like these are from the Golden Age. And just a really great collection of comics, I think. So again, thank you for watching. Bye for now.